Country Patriots. Today is a wonderful Wondering Wednesday, February 2nd. It is Groundhog Day, and you know what that means.
Today we get to find out if spring will be coming sooner or if winter is going to stretch out a little bit longer.
Huh? What does that have to do with the groundhog?
Patriots, remember back in December when we told you about a city in Switzerland where they blow up a snowman's head? The faster he explodes, the sooner spring will come?
That's a super weird tradition.
Well, in the United States, we are just as weird. In Pennsylvania, there's a groundhog named Phil. He comes out of hibernation on February 2nd. If he sees his shadow, we will have 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see a shadow, that means spring will come early.
I guess that's better than blowing up a snowman.
Hogs are super cute. Check out this to learn more.
It's almost time for one of our favorite winter holidays, Groundhog Day. Where I live, in the United States, every February 2nd we celebrate a day that's pretty close to the halfway point of winter. And all eyes turn to a little animal called the groundhog. Probably the most famous groundhog in the United States lives in a little town in Pennsylvania called Punxsutawney, and he's called Punxsutawney Phil. The story goes that when this groundhog comes up from his underground den and sees his shadow, that means there are 6 weeks of winter left. Now, there aren't many holidays that are just about animals, so we thought now would be a great time to learn more about Phil and the other members of his family. Groundhogs, or as some people call them, woodchucks, belong to a group of animals called rodents. Other kinds of rodents include squirrels, hamsters, and you've got it, Squeaks, also rats and mice. All rodents have sharp front teeth called incisors. You have incisors too. They're the 4 front teeth right in the front of your mouth, on the top and the bottom. Your incisors are often the first teeth you lose as your permanent teeth start to come in, but rodents like the groundhog don't usually lose their incisors. Instead, their front teeth do something else that's pretty cool. They grow, and they keep growing longer and longer. If the groundhog didn't do something to keep its incisors from growing too long, it'd have a pretty hard time eating. So groundhogs, like other rodents, chew or gnaw on things like sticks and trees. This wears their teeth down and keeps them nice and short. So if you see a groundhog chewing on wood, it's probably not eating it. It's just filing down its front teeth. But groundhogs do eat lots of different things. Its diet is mostly plants like grasses, berries, and nuts, but they'll also eat small insects, grubs, and snails if they can find them. And when they're not out looking for food, groundhogs hide, sleep, and raise their families in long underground tunnels called burrows. Burrows can be really big. Many of them are about as long as 5 or 6 cars parked end to end. And every burrow typically has 2 main rooms. One is used as kind of a living room for sleeping and hanging out in. The other is used only as a bathroom. Burrows are also where groundhogs hibernate. Hibernation is kind of like a deep sleep that some animals settle into in order to make it through the winter. When groundhogs hibernate, their heart rate slows down from about 80 beats a minute to as few as 4 or 5 beats a minute. And during hibernation, a groundhog's body temperature changes too. Groundhogs normally have a body temperature that's pretty close to yours, about 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But when they're hibernating, their body temperature drops all the way down to about 5 degrees Celsius or 41 degrees Fahrenheit. A slower heartbeat and a low body temperature help the groundhog to save energy through the cold winter when they aren't eating. And to get ready for their long hibernation, groundhogs spend most of the fall eating as much as they can. This helps them build up a lot of fat in their bodies. They can then use this fat for energy while they hibernate, because they won't come out of their burrows even to eat from October to March. And that means if old Punxsutawney Phil is up and about on February 2nd to see a shadow, then he must have gotten up a little too early.
Cool. Patriots. Phil comes out at 7:25 on this day, so he's already made his appearance. Do some research with your class after the news show to see if we'll be having more winter or a quicker spring.
While you're doing that research, you can also try to find the answer to Mrs. Greco's Wondering Wednesday question. Here it is again to remind you what last week's question was. Take it away, Mrs. Greco.
Hey Patriots, Miss Greco here for our next episode of Wondering Wednesday. Lately I've been getting a lot of questions about outer space. So what I have done for our Wondering Wednesday is given you one larger space question to try to see if you can find the answer. So take a look at this video to find out what our question is.
The 4 giant planets of our solar system have a couple of things in common, and one of those things is that all of them have planetary rings. The most famous of these is Saturn, but Jupiter, Uranus and Neptune also have rings. But why? Why is it that some planets have rings and others don't?
So that's the Wondering Wednesday that I want you to figure out. Why do the gas giant planets have rings when our other planets do not? Remember, you need to use a source to find your answer, and that source can be talking to an expert, using some research online, or even reading books from the Hub. I can't wait to see what you discover about our gas giant planets and their rings. Have a great day, Patriots. Send me your Wondering Wednesdays.
Thanks, Miss Greco. We will be sure to get researching to discover the answer to that mystery. We will let you know what we discover by emailing you, writing you a note, or telling you if we see you in the hall.
Let's talk lunch. Today for lunch, we're having PB&J to-go box, smoothie combo, or hamburger or cheeseburger. Vegetable and fruit choices are Popeye side salad, sweet savory fries, fresh sliced apples, pineapple bites, or juice. And don't forget your milk and utensils.
It's birthday time. We have 2 Patriots celebrating their birthday with Groundhog Day. Happy birthday to Cameron F. and Miss Mullins' class and Katie L. and Mrs. Woods' class. Happy birthday!
Okay, Patriots, it is early release day, so we need to wrap this show up. It is time to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then be seated for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a wonderful Groundhog early release day, Patriots. And remember, we are living the questions.
By feeding our passions
And exploring our wonders. Bye!